coach, and today I'm sharing a bit of wisdom. And the topic today is fear is a symptom. And the reason this is a really important thing to understand as you move through your spiritual journey is because recognizing that fear is not a cause of anything. Fear is actually the symptom. And what is a symptom? Symptom is a sign that something usually undesirable, like an illness, is present. So it's an indicator, it's a warning sign. So let me illustrate for you the way that I look at fear as a symptom. So every single one of us has an experience that causes us to feel fear. So if this is me, and of course, me has an amazing heart, as do you, as does everybody on this planet, because every single one of us is made of the essence of love itself. So a fear presents itself as a warning sign. So something happens out here. Let's say another person does something, says something, and I experience fear. Fear is the symptom. What is the cause of the fear? This is what's really exciting. When you begin to move through your spiritual journey and you begin to understand really what's going on, moving through your limitations, moving through your shifting your perceptions, anything and everything that feels like a resistance is simply because you have come up against a barrier and you're going to experience a level of fear. Now, it may not be a really intense fear. It could be a low level fear, but fear is fear is fear, and it's nothing more than we have bumped up against a resistance. This person, let's say they say something like, you disappointed me. I could feel a low level fear. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've disappointed somebody. That makes me feel so bad. I'm afraid that they may not like me. Fear, symptom, cause, my thinking. And my thinking is where all of my beliefs reside. So fear is a symptom of some faulty thinking. Thinking that is not in alignment with the truth of who I am, the presence of love here to express the love that I am. So what happens is this person says, I disappointed them. I pull my love back. Fear is oh no, I'm not going to be loved by that person. So I begin to believe that they have some kind of power to make me feel uncomfortable. But the work is to realize that it's the thinking in my head that threw a shield over me. Now, at times, these shields felt like they were protective, but what they begin to do is they begin to cause us now to be afraid that we're going to disappoint others. I learned my fear of not disappointing people at a very young age, so I became a people pleaser. But the fears that begin to happen later on in life that get more and more intense is, let's say, you get married, I get married, and now this person doesn't want to be with me. And I begin to feel this fear. If I don't understand that they're coming from the thoughts that I'm having in my head, it's my thinking that's creating the fear, I'm going to begin to project on that person, well, it's your fault. You're the one who did this to me. And now, instead of coming inside and clean my own consciousness, my own thought system, I am going to, from out here, blame, project it on that person that they are the source of it. I'll be blaming their thinking that is coming out of their heads. If they didn't believe that they didn't love me, if they didn't believe that they like somebody else, if they didn't believe those things, they wouldn't be affecting me. So understanding the process here is really key to our awakening. It's key to our freedom from limitations, the bondage of carrying the shield that supposedly protects us. But actually what it does is it suppresses the love that we are. Now I cannot send love to whomever because I'm believing that they're hurting me. And the thing about this is that my hurting always comes from myself. Do you realize that all emotional wounds are self-inflicted? Yes, because all of the emotions that happen in here, which is basically energy that is supposed to be in motion, emotions are a suppression of that motion. So all emotional wounds are self-inflicted because I'm pulling back the love that I am, because I don't remember what I really am. All of us have fallen into the trance that it's okay to blame the outer world, that it's always somebody else's fault. And taking responsibility for what's going on, it's a very uncomfortable process, because we will begin to realize that there really has never been a victim here. And some people may get upset and talk about people who are being hurt, physical victims. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm speaking of here is emotional victimhood, which says, because of what you believe about me, it defines me, it confines me, and now I'm less than. And that's simply not true. The process of the spiritual journey is a beginning to remember that we're powerful beyond measure. We are pure consciousness itself. Do you realize that the Creator is just nothing more than energy? It's pure intelligence, and we all have access to it, but we don't access that intelligence that is within us when we create a barrier and we block ourselves from seeing how powerful we are. Because when we begin to leave people outside of our experience and blame them, we then begin to believe that we are vulnerable and not powerful. So it's an interesting process. So again, fear is a symptom. Every time you feel fear, every time something moves, changes, somebody says something or doesn't say something, notice that fear is an indicator of what is happening in your thinking. So if you follow the fear, follow the trail, it will lead you to your thinking. Now, this is a process that has taken me years to master. Not something I wanted to believe was that easy in the beginning, but once I began to see that all of my suffering was self-induced because of my thoughts, the process got easier. I am an awareness coach. If you would like to have some assistance with that, come to my website at linaorlando.com. I do coaching sessions. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I only coach people who are on a spiritual journey and understand that they are moving past the barrier of fear, that they recognize that fear is nothing more than our beliefs about ourselves that are not true, which comprise our ego. So if you understand that and you want to transcend your ego, you want to move past the fears because you're using them as indicators, symptoms of something greater, which is the thinking in your own consciousness, in your own mind, I would love to talk to you. Or maybe you might want to participate in some of my workshops. I've got all kinds of things that I offer to help folks move through their spiritual journey. We are all waking up. The good news is that when we wake up, we free ourselves from the bondage of limited thinking. But the challenging news is that this is a process. It takes, in all seriousness, years, decades for some people, because the thinking is so ingrained. But if you want to rid yourself of emotional fears, if you want to rid yourself of all fears, come check out what I offer on my website. Now remember, we are all magnificent. That's what we're remembering. We're peeling off the layers so that our magnificence can be revealed. Our powerful selves, our invulnerable selves. So again, linaorlando.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this helpful, please share it with another person. You are absolutely wonderful, and so am I. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.